In the shivering cradle of the north, beneath pale stars and frost-laced skies, a child shall draw her first breath. Upon her breast the mark shall burn deep, black, and ancient, the stain of the abyss. She is no ordinary babe, but born of dark blood, her veins thrumming with infernal sorcery, her soul tethered to realms where mortals dare not gaze. She will walk as a girl among men, yet the shadow will know her as kin. Her laughter will echo like a charm sweet and beguiling, but behind her eyes smolder a fire not lit by this world. As she grows, so too shall her power, until the veil between planes wears thin, and the beast of her blood press against the door. Should she come of age unchecked, she will call to her kin not in prayer, but in triumph. And they will answer, oh yes, they will come, on wings of flame and ruin, to walk once more in the daylight. Woe then to the realm of men, for suffering shall not descend like rain, but rise like flood, drowning all. Thus is it woven, thus shall it be, unless a blade finds her heart before the hourglass runs dry.
Oh, I'm in the ocean? Let's do that. Yes, and that charity is Kurt. Sorry.
That tracks. I am a charity case. 100%. Yeah.
We
come on. Positivity. Let's start on positivity.
We crushed it with 988 last year with 1,500 raised throughout all the folks in chat. So we really appreciate that. We're just going to reset it, because it's just kind of a fun marker for us to see like, hey, we raised more this year than last year. Charity does come from the heart. So 988 being a mental health awareness, suicide awareness charity. The funds go to folks on the other side of those phone calls and texts to provide specialized resources and care for just about anything you go through. Our pitch is definitely use it for your darkest day as like a 911. It's 988, but also 911 as well. But 988, and please use it for preventative measures as well. As you're starting to go down a path and you need tools for your toolkit, a good mental health arrow for your quiver, dial 988 and they'll get you out of it. I've personal experience of seeing folks with this, and they have fantastic results, and it's available in Canada again. But that being said, if you don't have the squanch for 988, save some time throughout the week as you're stuck in traffic, pissed off, can't breathe, got hemorrhoids. Switch your empathy mode on and text your friends, say, how you doing, pal? And just listen to them download their super heckin' terrible week, and then just let them vent on you and listen like a good patient 988 rep. Over to you. I'm playing Vhagar Lepic today, a paladin. I'm somehow in the ocean. We'll see how this goes. Yep. Vhagar's a paladin. He is part of the Fleur de Lis, King Takar's best friend growing up, before his name was Takar, and joined the King's Guard. Like super hyper loyalist, and gets put on a quest to go off to grab a special priest for his wedding. He goes off and does that and ends up hanging out with these cool bros and gets a new scope on life that's not as narrow as his views that are given for him by like his pure loyalty, and he met all these great. That's a bit of your paladin. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mox. Some of you guys may remember me playing Silas Wren, the wizard out of Kingsgate, running into Vagard along the road and along two other companions. We had a good journey. Silas is a wizard, which magic in the kingdom of Krillian can be kind of weird to explain since they all think it comes from the demon realm, basically. um, uh, Silas took a liking to his a teacher of the Orion monks. There, Orion is a god within the world, and he kind of took on, some certain responsibilities in regards to knowledge. As a, not going to call it a vendetta against the gods, but wants to better understand the gods a little bit more. He finds that prophecy and things that dictate fate are not necessarily the right approach, but maybe he's starting to see that fate is malleable, as we left off from the previous chapter. So who knows how he's doing now? I would haunted by things, especially those of you that were joining us last time were very much haunted by. I would say call it more like the decisions of knowing what path to take now. I think he's got a lot of issues to figure out, and who knows if he figures them out or not, but it's a fun ride along the way. Yeah, yeah, he's doing great.
Oh, he's just his name is Gallows Silverfinger, and he just has a punch for shiny things that probably, if we're going along a logical thought process, comes back to, you know, dwarvish labor. And so he's just reclaiming what's truly, for his people. Exactly. 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 We know that humans can't, them and minds, their lungs get turned black, things along those lines. Us dwarvish folk, we have a stronger constitution.
point out. I think we're close. He knows best for we've best for, but just kind of like whisper, maybe embrace. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm just like maybe as we get closer now, we don't embrace until we gain more approval from your brother, or at least you do, to tend to my duties, protecting you. He will trust us, as he always will, or always has, especially. As soon as I get you the bastion, I will report to Silas immediately. If anybody's going to know anything, it's my dear sweet Silas. He'll be poring over books in his keep, in his library. Is there anything you'd like me to tell him? If you need me present when you meet His Majesty, I can be there. I know. Of course you can. But out of respect for him, we should wait and see how he accepts our relationship. He grabs his sword and just locks it right back. As soon as she says that, he's just like, he switches it back on. He'll step down the 3 steps, onto this skiff or cog that we're on, and just start giving orders to the rest of the staff. We're not at sea anymore when we get out there. I'm assuming I've had reports of guilds. I don't want to go over under. Do I have reports of? I had reports of street crime and stuff like that, right? Before I left. Last I left, I knew that the captain of the guard was in cahoots with. So I'm just gonna let her know as well. Like there were some gangs, folks that were not in the city that appreciative of the king. So we're going to play it tight until I get you into the mission. just grip a sword and bow, in a very martial, bow tight, come back up. Yeah, safe. Thing heard, he would say there are any threats from that city. Said it. I just want to, for my guards, my soldiers. As soon as she says, "Go see your friend," I want to make it clear that I say, "I'm at His Majesty's command," so that they know that I'm not breaking character when it comes to our duty, to make sure that they understand. Just going back.
I think it's single candlelight, kind of sitting at a table right now with Silas. Bunch of scrolls just everywhere, left, right. Kind of cut to him, kind of in his typical, his clothing, kind of his hood is down. The eye patch that he normally keeps in calm and carried on his left eye is not there. He's just, the eye is out. The eye of Istis is out. He's scanning, looking with one eye. And like, if this was like a panoramic shot, you would just see him, for the majority of the part, he's not looking with his real eye. He's just staring through the eye of Istis, just looking for anything to stick. Underneath his breath, he's just talking, just muttering to himself. Left beneath the sea. The child left. Yes, yeah. Okay. What else? What else is there? There has to be something else. Mm. Yeah. I think Silas probably sits around a little bit and he hears like Astus probably mumbling to himself, like speaking and probably imagining when he first met him as well, when it was the fever that swept the land. That's how he first met him. And he probably goes into the room, but before he goes into the room, knowing how the eye functions, he puts his eye patch over on. He needs to see Astus as he is now, not what the eye shows him. Hello, old friend. How are you?
For just you. Sorry.
Thank you, OBS, for dropping my mic. Okay, well, I apologize. We will not go. We won't backtrack. We'll just sally forth, so to speak, and keep working it. So when you come into the room, Silas, you're surprised to find Astus sitting up, feet on the floor, on the side of the bed. He doesn't look entirely stable, but you haven't seen him up like this in for the entire winter.
I think I quickly rush to his side, offer my arm. Come now, you know what the Chirurgeon said, that you should not be out of your bed. Please sit, relax.
He coughs a bit and he says, "If I'm going to be dead soon, I think I can choose how I rest my bones."
I cannot argue with that.
What?
Would you care for a cup of tea?
Oh, of course, and he motions to, his teapot and everything. He says, "Do you have any more details on the journal? Any more information? Have you been able to glean anything from its pages?"
Brother Altherin was very specific within his journal. It was hard to glean what was the fever and what was whatever he was talking about with the goat itself, but some here, some there. One Lord Agard comes up repetitively within it, some sort of commander of the north here. They fought the goat, and you can just see his one eye has got like just droops and shadows, like he just hasn't slept in maybe a day or two.
Silas,
he's starting to kind of feel.
Astus looks at you and he says, "Silas, I do not know of this battle that the priest speaks of. It's been lost, I can only assume, or hidden from us for some reason. If the goat..."
Nameless city, some sort of nameless city, Astus. Nothing speaks of a nameless city. Or the north.
He pauses and thinks, and you can tell he's putting a concerted effort into it, but then he shakes his head. He's like, "No, I don't know. I don't know it."
You can see he's trying to fight through his reason, and he just keeps rubbing his head and then motioning over to where the eye is. What are the harbors? Do they keep all the records of all the ships that have ever come in?
I don't expect that. Perhaps harbor master records are kept, but I don't know how far they would go back. Have you?
This one was quite...
Have you spoken to any of the clerics that came with the queen to the city?
No, I haven't left the great library in About a week or so. I haven't.
When you say
I know the
that,
pale blade
he
is out
looks at
of.
you sort of like with a shock and a little dismayed. He says, "You then take the opportunity to get out, boy. Don't waste yourself away in here." And he begins to cough and hack. He says, and as he gets through that, he says, "The keepers of the stone, the this nameless city. It reminds me of the nameless hero. The, the lore of this demigod is that they slayed the goat. Perhaps the keepers of the stone know more."
No, they did not slay the goat, but yes.
Their tales
Brother
say
Althran.
that they did. That she was slain by the nameless hero, and that hero rose to demigodhood themselves.
If that was the case, the sickness that plagued them, according to Brother Althran's journal here, should have faded. It should have been different, Estes. Whoever this Lord Egod Tegram is.
If you fight a dragon and its blood splatters upon you, you carry that away. The dragon still dies.
He sits down and kind of like leaning against the wall. I see what you might be motioning in at. So a final plague out of the goat before she passed.
I don't see why not. Something of that level of corruption, well, it leaves a stain.
Stain, yes. Brother Althran's journal mentioned that Lord Tegram, Lord Egod Tegram, was marked by the goat.
If
I'm very
Tegram
interested now.
If Tegram was a knight of the city, he may be honored in the Hall of Honor. If so, his painting, some sort of token of him, should be hung there within the bastion. Many.
So it seems we leave the library then.
He pats you on the shoulder. You'll be fine. Now that tea, bring it.
Yes, of course. He hands him the tea, and then they probably catch up a little bit, and I would assume shortly thereafter, probably going to freshen up a little bit so he doesn't smell like rotten and rotted books. They'll
All right.
probably disappear and head towards the great hall.
Absolutely. We're going to jump out to a part of the city. It's an old part of the city, and within it are many cramped and tight buildings that were once packed into a much smaller walled part of the settlement before it expanded out, and new walls were built and expanded out, and new walls were built. This is going back to very old times when the city wasn't even known as King's Gate. It was known as North Gate. The cities are made of, old field stone and mortar, and many of them sort of creak and have that sort of old house smell to them. Gallo, you have been invited to meet with your mentor at a tavern known as the Wilted Lily. This is not the first time you've met him there. This place is familiar to you, and familiar to your guild. It's a bit of a I would describe it as a safe haven for your guild.
Okay.
The what I described previously to Mox or Silas is that the city is full of strangers. A lot of people have arrived from elsewhere and are now dwelling within its walls. As well, this order of knights known as the Pale Blade have come to town, and they are a nuisance. They believe that they have the ability to sort of shape fate, and that they are on a mission that is sort of above the law and above. In some cases, you have a feeling they believe themselves to even be above, the king. That their righteous quest that they're on somehow places them much farther up the food chain. But these things that you're sure will come to pass. If nothing else, your teacher Malin always stresses patience and to always watch for the next thing to develop and to not act hastily. You're still relatively low in the ranks of the 13 Lock Thieves Guild. There are many locks or lessons that they teach. And you have been working on your first lock, which is the Lock of Shadow. Which, ironically, well, not maybe not ironically, but that teaches stealth and patience. So what better teacher than Malin Vey? Malin is known to possess 5 locks, but you're not sure which ones. So you received a message to join him at the Wilted Lily. There's a light rain falling. It's cold. You wouldn't be surprised if the rain by nightfall turns to snow as the temperature drops in the city. You walk down very busy and cramped streets as merchants and townsfolk move about. And then you're standing outside of this old stone. The first floor is all made up of old field stone and mortar, and then the 2 upper levels above it are wood, and they kind of lean like the building is a little drunk or dilapidated. And a sign out front once had this beautiful fleur-de-lis on it, but the wood has warped with age, and the lily now has the fleur-de-lis now has the appearance of sort of being dead. So, and then Wilted Lily is written across the signboard.
I think Gallo kind of like does a little bit of the shake to try and get a bit of the moisture off of his cloak. And I think that he proceeds inside, but knowing the abundance of people that are here now, I think that he would attempt to try and sneak up, for lack of a better term, on Malin.
Okay.
The idea of the shadow doesn't necessarily just mean a dark place. A shadow follows us everywhere we go, whether it's in light or dark. So I think that he works the crowd and bobs and weaves through them back and forth, all the while keeping a weather eye to see where Malin's gaze is looking and trying to avoid it.
Okay. All right. And as you step foot into the Wilted Lily, you immediately smell sort of damp wool as people's cloaks are wet, sour ale, and old secrets. Candlelight clings to the corners and never quite reaches the beams overhead. The windows are stained with tobacco smoke from many pipes being burnt within this ale hall, and it's to the point now that it's almost like a stained glass effect. Very little light gets into the Wilted Lily, and you can see Malin. He sits where the wall is the darkest, his back to the stone. His hands are folded as if he's waiting for a ledger to balance, like he's just focused downwards at the table. He doesn't look up even when you arrive, so you think you have an opportunity here. Why don't we have you make your first roll of the campaign? We'll have you make a move silent.
Move silent. Okay. Let's see how much RNGesus hates me. An 18.
Not bad. Not bad. So, you begin to make your way in his direction when somewhere behind the bar a mug breaks, but no one in the tavern even looks over. And you feel you're now to a point where like you've maybe got like a large post that holds up the part of the second floor, so that you're behind, and there's a few people gathered at the table between you and Malin, but getting from here to him is going to be it's going to be tricky.
I think he would find a way. Like he would study the room, watch people's movement patterns, things along those lines. He's ambitious. He wants to get to the next lock. And so he thinks that perhaps this is his best way to show that he's ready for the next lock.
Instead of making a stealth check, then let's just do a wisdom check, and we're going to see if you can sort of. You are a dwarf, so you're a little shorter in stature, and maybe you can time the movement of one of these larger barmaids and just sort of slide in behind her and make your way over.
Larger? You mean that's just a full-figured woman?
Exactly. She thick.
I got
bad.
a 15, and it is a primary stat for me.
Yeah, very good. Very good. So you drift in behind this woman. She certainly doesn't notice you, nor does the majority of the bar. However, you're still not close enough to the, like if you were an assassin, you would not be close enough to the table to attack Malin when he says, not looking at you, just sit down.
He reluctantly rolls his eyes and pulls his cloak down over his head, letting his long brown locks just kind of like just fall out from behind him, and pushes it back real quick. It's his hair still slick from the water outside, and climbs up into the chair. You know, you would think by this point they would have chairs for all heights, but no, it's always just human height.
He doesn't even acknowledge that, but you maybe catch a small glimpse of a smirk as he appreciates what you're saying. He then says, don't order yet. Give the room a moment to breathe long enough for them to forget you.
Who to forget me? The barmaid that I goosed?
All of them. I thank you for your timely arrival. There's a supply wagon entering through the southern gate tonight. It will reach the gate before dawn. Winter's grain on top and salt from Wyvernmoor beneath. Routine enough that no one remembers it twice. He glances towards the door, then back to the table. Look for a small chalk marker near the rear axle. 12 short scratches, arranged in an arc, with a 13th to snap them in half. And he patiently and calmly pauses to try and discern if you've captured all that.
I think Gal's like leaning forward, like, okay, the rest of it, like, please.
He sees your eagerness and like hangs on the pause even longer. He then says, it carries a passenger, well hidden and breathing carefully. He taps his fingers together on the table once and then stops. You are not to find them. Not with eyes, not with hands. If you know what they look like, you've already failed. His gaze lifts now, steady and weighing. Your task is absence, which you happen to know is one of the qualities of the 9th lock. Make sure the wagon passes the gate. And the city should never realize someone arrived. He leans into you now, and even to hear him over the tavern's murmur, you sort of find yourself leaning a little bit towards him. He says, the teamster is ours, and the guard is paid, usually. Tonight, we assume usually isn't enough. A faint smile, thin as a knife's edge, crosses his face. So you'll be there to remind the locks they're already open. He then slides back against the wall. No heroics, Gallo. No blood. When it's done, no one should be able to say why nothing went wrong.
No, like you see him like working it, right? Because while Gallows is a smart man, he's not necessarily an intelligent person. And so so I'm supposed to have a wagon come into the south through a door that's already open, past guards that are already paid, carrying a passenger that I'm not allowed to touch, smell, or see, and deliver said person to a location that's already expected, and yet no one has memory of the passing of the wagon?
It's like every other wagon that passes through the gate. As long as you keep suspicions low, no one will remember this wagon.
I didn't understand that, but if it's
and you
just
don't
part
need to
of
get
a
it to
regular-
any place. You just need to get it past the gate.
What's in the wagon?
A passenger.
I get that part. But I mean the passenger in question. Who is it? What is it?
You're not grasping the absence part of this lock. You are not there. You merely guide it through the gate. Who this person is and what they are is irrelevant.
But it is relevant. If you're having me smuggle in some sort of corrupt lord, that could bring about death and destruction to this city, which I call home, that would be bad. Don't get me wrong. We may bend the law, sometimes break it, and do bad things for good people and good things for bad people, but have you not heard of the things descending from the north?
We never.
We must know what's coming in.
We never break laws. We simply open locks. And there is no law that disallows such a thing. And as for the north, the rumors of orcs amongst the forest, they're fighting the elves. They'll never make the city.
Right.
And a warlord, Gallo. Honestly, he even chuckles to himself. I think we can order drinks now. And he motions for the barmaid to come back. What sort of warlord do you think we're sneaking in?
It was an example. It wasn't a literal thing. It was just saying that there's all sorts of bad beyond the walls.
Let me tell you,
and the walls...
It's paying very well. I don't care if it's Orcus in the cart. Get it through.
Fine. But if this in some way, shape, or form comes back on me, even after it's through, because I will get it done, because I'm me. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Like, it's going to happen. But if there's some sort of downfall that encroaches upon my city, and I do say it is mine, because everything here will end up in my pockets, I don't want you pointing the finger at me and go, oh, well, Gallo should have known better. And I'm just going to say, but we just opened locks.
Gallo, if you do this well, no one will know better. That's the point.
How do you know I haven't done it already? This is that high wisdom, low int happening right now.
He says, well, if you've done it already, then, goody.
Don't ever say that again. Don't. No.
The barmaid comes over and she says, she refers to Malin as Mr. Vey. Mr. Vey? Your usual? He smiles. She looks out at you and how about you, my little boulder of a man? What will you be having?
Just some water. Apparently I'm working this evening. I mean, unless I can drink you up.
She smiles. Not if you're just drinking water.
Us dwarves, always at the right height.
As she's looking down on you, she smiles at that again and heads to get the drinks. Malin looks at you and says, all joking aside, it is paying well.
Oh, one small question. What do you know of these Pale Blade individuals?
What would you like to know?
Mostly whether or not they're not ordinary denizens of our city. So, do you, being of such higher elevation than myself, so far further through the locks, know whether or not they could pose a potential problem this evening? They've been getting in my way just trying to get from one end of the city to the next.
Their searches seem to be kept to the interior of the city. I don't think you're going to run into problems at the gate. They're looking for a girl.
Mm-hmm.
They believe in the oracle's prophecy.
Once again, this is... I may not be a smart man, but I am a good dwarf. They're looking for a girl. We're transporting in somebody of unknownness.
Look at you trying to put the puzzle together. I promise you, it's not that.
Okay, fair enough. I'll keep you at your word. And thieves don't lie to each other, right? Right. Honor among thieves. Honor among thieves, yes? Yes.
On all 5 of my locks, I promise you. I would never lie to you, Gallo.
It shall be done. It shall be done. Do not fret. Before midnight this night, it will be done.
Excellent. Excellent. Let's skip back to Silas. Where were you going to head?
I was going to head to the Hall of Heroes there and kind of start looking a little bit towards. So freshening up and getting myself ready, presentable to be amongst the public.
Yep.
Eye patch on, hood up, and then probably heading to that Hall of Heroes to start doing a little bit of research towards this Lord Agram. Though I think I'm taking a more inconvenient route because I think I'm avoiding any sight of the Pale Blades.
Okay. You know that the hall is in a rather secluded part of the bastion, and you're not sure that you can necessarily reach it without going through a number of checkpoints.
Some assistance, yeah. I think I'll probably sit there for a second, find a local bakery, purchase probably a cookie today. He's craving a little bit of sugar at this point.
Okay.
Damn you, Vagod. Whenever you're gone, it makes things so much more difficult. Fine. He yells out into the air. I think, again, he's a little unhinged right now.
Yeah, I think people immediately spread away from you and give you a wipe.
Yeah. Yes. Crazy man in robes. Go on. I'll probably start towards where I know Vagard would usually stay towards the barracks. Maybe yep. I know he's probably been out of town for a little bit. I do remember that, and I probably haven't seen him in quite some time.
Okay.
But I will probably go inquire towards his.
As you make your way there, you round the corner and begin to walk up a familiar street where you met the old blind woman. I don't know if you remember that from our final session. As you reach there, you are flooded of memories of the vision that you saw while you held her dying body, of her as a young cleric approaching a nobleman and giving that nobleman a prophecy. You never learned what the prophecy she gave him, but again, you're reminded of his face turning to anger and him very violently blinding her. And as you walk up that street, you, those feelings and those images sort of flash back over you, and that night that you met her in the fall. It's been some time, but they all flood back to you like it was yesterday. As you continue up the street, you finally reach the gates to the barracks at the base of the bastion, and a familiar boy stands guard with a number of other soldiers at the gate.
I'm going back. I take it all back. I'm going back. I'm jumping in the water. Game over.
Okay, so you're like
No!
I can't do this. And before you
No.
can, a voice is like, Silas? He's still a boy.
The gods all real.
He's still a boy, but he is a little more grown up than we see him in this particular picture. You know, he has done a lot of growing up since, you know, going into the Bloodhorn Bog and then into the shadows of Silathalor and fighting the spiders and the, you know, and all the other monstrosities that he witnessed. But he seems really happy to see you.
Jacques, it's been some time, has it? I don't know. It all seems like yesterday.
He comes running over and at first he's going to embrace you, you think, and then he thinks better of it and stops. You must be here to see see Vhagar.
Has he returned?
His ship came in early this morning.
That makes it what? 7 months? 6, 5, 3, no, 2. How many months? Jacques!
6, 7?
I lost count. I wasn't unintentional, Jacques.
He's like, I think more like 5. Are you okay?
5 months. It's been. Yes, I'm fine. Relax, Jacques. God, how many years has it been since I've seen you? What?
It's been 5 months.
Vhagar. Anyways, where's 5 months? Yes, 5 months. That's what I said. Months. Anyway, Vhagar, Jacques, a pleasure. Please, if you do not mind.
He very awkwardly starts to lead you. You're okay, right?
You want a cookie, Jacques? I brought 2.
He puts his hand out. He'll gladly take that.
Okay, and then he cuts it in half and gives him only a half.
He's fine. He takes the half for what it is and leads you in. He leads you through the barracks, and I'm going to say he finds the two of you find Vhagar. Maybe Vhagar's just cleaning up a bit and unpacking from the journey. Well, you know, you tell me what you're doing in the barracks there, Vhagar, when they find you.
Well, not to mansplain. I think I would be receiving a report like immediately. I would just go in there and just like still stay on duty to like the very last second. You know, doing that paladin, you know, knob thing where I'm just staying, I'm providing the example, especially for in regardless of the mission being over, there's still a mission to be done. Go to the captain of the guard, or you know, report the, you know, a quick report, and then make sure that they know that I'm announced to the king that I'm at his.
So everything that I've already like sort of talked about to other characters about the city being crowded with strangers and the Pale Blade being here, you learn of all of this. But you are also told by the guard that the Pale Blade's High Inquisitor received information from one of their prophets in the town of Sanctuary, which sits on the other side of the King's Channel, that the child was here in the city.
When was that?
That would have been about 2 months ago. That would have been about 2 months ago.
Yeah. The thing that I'd be aware of starting inside the bastion, near the bastion. Like I'm just like, where's the nearest threats? Because there's obviously political issues or anything like that. Who do I need to keep an eye on? Is there any issues with?
There hasn't been any issues. Everything has run really. Basically, for winter, it was kind of like a shelter in place, right? So, troop movements weren't there. There were no major political visitors to or from the city. A number of diplomats are starting to return from where they went and wintered in other cities, and of course, Isabella being one of them. But no, other than this, the Pale Blade arrived. The High Inquisitor passed on that he had received information from an oracle in Sanctuary, and Sanctuary is sort of where the Pale Blade is based out of. They have a citadel there. And that is, the fact that they have an oracle or know of an oracle there, that's sort of news to you. But the High Inquisitor basically informed the king that they had information that the child was here in the city and that they were going to be, turning over every barrel, essentially, to find her.
And the king has given them their word to do this in the city.
The town guard, the King's Guard, don't know all of what's going on, because this would not be like street regulations are not something that the King's Guard would be bothered with. That would be the regular city guard. But their understanding is that the Pale Blade do have permission to have the city guard assist them in sort of searching and seeking out to see if they can find this girl. However, the king did stress that they were to do this as I don't want to say discreetly, because that's not they weren't given carte blanche essentially just to seek and destroy, but they were given permission to search the city for the girl.
And call for a footman and report to the king that I'm here.
Okay.
If he doesn't need me, I'll be dismissed. So I'll just.
So you're maybe waiting for that footman when Silas and Jacques come to you. Jacques smiles when he sees you. He's got a mouthful of cookie, and Silas beside him. And when he thinks Silas is not looking, he sort of makes like this symbol to you. He's like.
But Jacques was with me because I requisitioned him to be patient.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Me, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, he hates my guts. Okay, great. I'm just going to go and just drop all my bearing and just walk straight over to Silas. Like my bearing has been up for everybody else, and just go in for the biggest hug.
Bayard, a pleasure, my friend. How many months has it been? 9? 12?
It felt like forever, dear friend.
Jacques is behind Silas going,
Go. Tend to our horses. Meet me after dinner.
they've already put me on gate duty.
Get to gate duty. I'll check in with you later.
He moves back to the gate.
Cookie. Don't eat in front of the guests. And I'll just grab Silas by both the shoulders and just say, This is a blessing from those you don't trust. This is a blessing from. I won't mention that. And he knows I'm talking about the.
Yes,
God.
yes.
Yeah, just...
Good for them. Round of applause, Vagard. Yes. How are you, my friend? It's been a time. How I did not know you were gone for as long as you were. How were your travels?
It's smooth. Duties to princess, maintaining security and the monotony. You'd hate.
Oh yes, I would hate it to a degree that I could not describe to you in actual words. But yes, I would hate it. Yes.
Anything from Zora
Yes.
or our friends? Have you heard anything? Are they safe?
Oh.
Oh, I will.
I did
let me drop in on that there. So you did receive word that Thora has left the city to return to Galengard. So she has gone south again, and that Grenna and Father Jakob both reached the abbey safely.
I think I sent them a pigeon
You did.
about 2 months ago. And it was nice. It was good to hear from her. I know
He's
Thora
just-
took off in quite a bustle, so you know her and her. What was the name of the horse again, Vegard? She had a horse.
Look at him and just be like, please don't embarrass me. I'm not.
Ah. Do you want this other half of this cookie, Vegard?
Takes it. But just for everybody that's around, I'm acting absurdly like familiar when I'm very indisciplined with everybody else. But when I'm at Silas, I'm completely out of it.
The footman arrives at that point and says that the king will see you.
I'll grasp
Are you?
Silas's hand. And say,
I don't want to see Vegard. I'm good. I'm not of sound
I'm
mind or
lay on hands.
consciousness.
I want him to feel lay on hands to calm him a little bit.
Okay.
You know, like so he's felt it before.
Okay.
But it's gotta feel radiant and stuff, and just say, "We are one." Silas.
CK,
We just
Castle Keeper, tell me if this is too much. I do know from one time last time that we did this, I think his sanity comes to him when Vegard touches him a bit,
Okay.
like grasping like hand to hand.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
we talked about it the
I'm
one
here
time
for-
when
I'm here
Vegard
for
was
that
close
too.
to me.
Yep.
Yeah, I think all of a sudden he's like, it's almost like instant sobriety. Oh, it's been quite some time. And then I
I'm
think he
gonna
follows
recognize
along
it,
quickly.
And I recognize it, and I'll just because
Yeah.
I don't want him to feel weak or exposed. So we carry it. We walk it.
Okay, so the two of you go to greet and meet with the king. I'm going to jump back over to Gallo. Gallo, so you finish your drink, and what is? Do you have any plans for prior? All you know is that the wagon will arrive sometime before dawn, and after night.
So I think that he's gonna have his usuals that he's got to go do. If his coin purse is feeling a little light, there's obviously a plethora of new faces, obviously temporary faces, who might have a bit too much coin in their pocket to liberate from time to time. Dwarf's got to eat after all. And I think that he would, honestly, because he is an accomplished thief, right? And there's a marked difference between being a devilishly rogue and an actual thief. I think that he would very much watch. He's very particular about casing things.
Okay.
He's not going to rush into it, right? And even though it's during the daytime when there's a lot of people around, that gives him the best opportunity to kind of see how things go. If during the daytime this is the height of when the guards are on alert, then in the evening it should be that much easier.
Okay. So do you make your way to the south gate then?
I think so.
Okay, on your way there, let's see what kind of money you make along the way. Do you want to give me a check for your light fingers? We'll maybe make a pickpocket check. Yeah, absolutely.
RNGesus fucking loves me tonight.
It does love you. Look at that. It does.
I have never had rolls like this in Roll20 ever. So I'm going to take that as a win.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And I have the crown jewels now in my back pocket.
I'm gonna give you a gold piece for every step you beat the base challenge. So I'm gonna say by the time you reach the gate, you're up 12 gold, which is incredibly good for the city. Like normally it would be silver coins, but with all the traffic in, like clearly money is coming into the city as well. You've also noticed like people that sell, like shop vendors are busy. Like the city is bursting at the seams with people. All the inns have, their rooms rented out, and money is really like this is good. This is good for business. There's a lot of money changing hands. When you reach the southern gate, there is like a massive Barbican style, almost like fort. 2 towers, a gatehouse over top. The battlements are extra here. There are ballistas up on the battlements. Like the gate could repel an attack easily. But you watch as wagons and carts roll up and are inspected by the guards, and then a count is taken of what they're bringing into the city, and a gate tax is charged to each of them as they pass through.
Okay.
For any goods coming into the city to be sold. Some of the people that arrive at the gate, tell them that it's for like personal consumption. Like they're bringing it in for family and friends. And those, if those wagons are able to be, persuasive or show some sort of proof of that, then they're let through. You do notice though that the guards do not pay, like they're not hyper vigilant. They're you can tell they're a little sloppy. They're a little lackadaisical. They're not. They take their time getting over to a wagon. You maybe even see some wagons, like somebody as you're like sitting and casing and watching it, like maybe you notice someone like hides something from the guards, or like it's not so tight security that nothing could get through. You can see outside of the southern gates is an area of town known as Jingletown. And Jingletown was, when the barbarians of the south came to the rescue of the kingdom and helped them repel the orcs, a good number of Gaelengard's barbarians, or the Gaelish as they're called, they stayed behind. They decided that they were going to live here. The Gaels literally worship a horse god named Gale, and horses are not a currency. They're not to be bought and sold. They are like they almost a religion. Horses are a big deal to the Gaelish barbarians, and if you're ever gifted a Gaelish horse, that is a huge honor. And a Gaelish horse is just a much better breed than any horse you would find in Crollion. So Jingletown is just outside the gates, and it's pretty bustling out there as well. And you can see, as the Gaels have lived here, clearly they've taken husbands and wives of humans and elves and dwarves, and so I don't want it to come across as just a barbarian village outside the south gate, but it's you can definitely tell the influence from the south. There's the Gaels are known for like their horse blankets hang over their doors when they're open, and there's lots of places to tie off mounts, and there's probably quite a few stables out there as well. So when your wagon comes, it's going to have to come through Jingletown to get to the southern gate.
Okay. I think I would actually spend a decent amount of time like understanding and seeing this, that I would probably try and find the best way, like what's my path of least resistance when I finally find this wagon, and watching the people move through, trying to understand the paths or whatnot. I've essentially got to sneak this thing in. So I'm watching and hopefully gathering enough information to where once I locate the wagon, I'll be able to go like, okay, now is when I need to push this thing in here.
Okay.
Kind of deal. So like, it's not super flashy or anything like that. He's being, because he feels as though this is something that's really going to like push him. You know what I mean? He's taking a lot of over precaution and making sure that he does this absolutely right.
So I think a couple of bits of insight come to you. One, when this thing arrives, there's not going to be a lineup. It's going to probably there's going to be probably very few carts coming through the gate, and at night the gate might be closed. That's not to say they won't let the cart through, but the cart is probably going to get inspected. So if the guild has paid the watch like they say they have, then hopefully they, there's supposed to be a mark near the rear axle of the cart. You wouldn't be surprised if that mark the guards will recognize as well and let it through.
Okay. I think he would commit that to memory.
And it's probably just like you're thinking, you're really just there to make sure that the paid off guards do as they're told and that the cart makes its way through. And if it doesn't, then you're going to have to improvise. And you think that might be a lot of last minute thinking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
No.
How long do you spend? Do you spend the rest of the day there watching the gate?
I think so.
Okay, I'd like
I think it
really
does.
I'd like you to give me a wisdom check then.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. As
obviously he's distractible.
As the day, that's still a pass. The day goes on and the dinner hour passes, and you notice some confusion at the gate. And it looks like there's a captain that is trying to leave. He's clearly asking around, maybe for the night captain. Okay. And the other guards that are showing up to do their night duty, they're sort of shaking their heads, and so you feel like the night captain has not reported for duty.
I'm gonna go see if I can find said night. Listen to him enough to be like, okay, so this is what this guy looks like. You know, this is what he should be. Who he should look.
Okay.
Kind of deal.
So let's make a listen check. You maybe move yourself within range to eavesdrop and see if you can pick up who it is that you're looking for. So you notice that, you try to make yourself in there to listen, and sort of the conversation ends before you get there to hear any more. Other than you can hear the day captain going like, well, he better show up before midnight. I intend to go home and sleep in my own bed at some point.
Okay.
But you have no idea who the captain is that's missing, or who he is or what he looks like.
Noted.
So we're going to rewind the clocks a bit as the two of you make your way up into the bastion, and it's not long before you come to an open courtyard where the king is. He's practicing a bit of archery as you come in. He sees you and he puts his bow down, comes over, gives Vagard a hug, nods to Silas, recognizing him. He says, how is Kelton? Warmer than here, I would bet.
Nothing is warm. Being in your present majesty, a smirk. You remember our dear friend Silas?
Of course.
As I make them both feel awkward.
Your Majesty, can I glance over to see how he was doing during his archery?
Absolutely. You can see that he's not he's not a great shot. He's no ranger, but he's not a slouch either.
Amazing shots, Your Majesty. Good to see you as sharp as a bow. Ah, I get it.
He says, I, your joke does not really land on him, and he's like, I could use some more practice. I could use some more practice. Your orcs, by the way, have not made an appearance. Lady Greystone, do you remember?
None.
Do you remember her? Our North Rangers.
Yes.
I do remember her, yes.
She's sent rangers further north along the Kern River to the Ashglade. Do you know of this place? It's a section of Sila Thalor that burned long ago and never grew back. Anyways, our rangers have made it as far north as the Ashglade. They have seen no orcs. I know you told us that they were tunneling, but they have not surfaced there. We've also hired
Have they found any?
a mercenary company from the south to further fortify Darkwood Abbey at your suggestion.
I'll look at Silas and give like this little bit of like relief, you know, because
Hey God, he's forgetting where he's at right now, but it doesn't make sense. We saw the tunnels. The tunnels were.
oh,
This
yes.
was months ago. Months ago.
With
Hey
regards to
God.
that, yes. And I'll look at the king. Remember, Majesty, the enemy has a mind of its own. The enemy has a.
He
Not gonna be where you want to find him.
He walks sort of out of. He motions for you to follow, and he walks to the edge of the courtyard where there's a wine pitcher and some cups. He offers you, to help. Motions for you to help yourself if you'd like. He takes it. He takes one for himself. He says that. Do you think it's possible the elves though could have? Well, I'm still giving us our town sounds as opposed to where he says, do you think it's possible that the elves though have shorn up their forest, that the orcs can't make further pushes south, that they've met enough resistance? Maybe the elves have turned them back.
No, we would have heard something out of Darkwood Abbey. We would have heard something out of Grenna and her abilities to fight back. No, something is different. More than likely.
We saw too much activity to think that they just waned that quickly. Either we met them at their most subterfuges, or I feel, and I'll look at them, and I'm giving a report to the king that I want Silas to know that I heard, so that to kind of lead him to. I know Silas knows. Like, I know he's smarter than he's like way ahead of us. The Pale Blade. Their search in the city.
Yes.
Found anything? Could you tell me what they're looking for?
They're looking
They're
looking for the girl from the prophecy.
And they've said that she's here at least 2 months ago.
Well,
This is all over for Silas.
the oracle that came to the capital and gave me that terrible prophecy now resides in sanctuary with the order. And she has.
You know that I sensed evil.
I know you told me that. But the High Inquisitor has done many good things.
Sense evil from the captain. Sense evil from.
I
hope.
Lord Norrin, I have kept an eye on him, Vagard, and I do not have your senses, but he's been a trusted servant of the king, my father. But I am not trusting entirely. I am keeping a close eye on him. I think the Inquisitor is forced to sometimes do things that are not pleasant. Could that be the taint that you're sensing on him?
Like murder children, Your Majesty.
It's beyond a taint, Your Majesty.
I spoke to the High Inquisitor about the Inquisitor that you met in the Lowlands, and told him that sort of treatment of our people is unacceptable. He's promised me that those sorts of things will not happen any longer. That Inquisitors such as that will be brought to task. Whatever the case,
I want to darken you further.
he's like, no, this is important to discuss. Whatever the case, the Pale Blade believe the girl is here in the city, and so long as they are not cruel to the people, I've allowed them to search for her. But they have been told that she's not to be harmed. Queen of Erin very much wants to meet her if she's found. They are aware of this.
And soldiers always follow orders, right, Your Majesty?
He looks at Vhagar. The good ones do.
Good ones with a steel heart and a good soul.
Let's
just follow orders.
There are more of those here in Kingsgate than you might think. But I'm not so naive to not realize that there are some that... It is a big city, and we will hope that if she's found by guards or knights that will treat her appropriately. They're all aware that the Queen wishes to be the first to speak to her. Our Queen has endeared herself to our people, and he sort of smiles, and you can see him sort of lost in those thoughts, and he says, even with the fear of the orcs in the north, and the search for the girl, spirits in the city are quite high. I wish to believe that we're coming out from under this shadow.
Optimism, Your Majesty. Some are afforded it. Others are not.
It's my duty to expect the worst.
Vhagar, I forgot to ask you, and Your Majesty, you may know something of this. I found a journal recently. In the journal, one Lord Egard, I believe, I apologize, his name is
Lord
Egard Tegram. Egard Tegram was mentioned. You know of this man?
He, the king seems to recognize and looks to Vhagar and says, "Yes, I took Vhagar to see his picture. Vhagar wears his armor and wields his sword."
I think he immediately starts looking at your armor
So Vhagar's armor, as we described before, is sort of from a time past. It's chainmail, but just like the way it's put together, its buckles, its straps, its metal, it's an antique. Not that it's less protective, but it's clearly older armor.
His armor and sword laid out in his cabin. And now Vhagar wears them. Oh, you are cruel, aren't you? He's staring off into the sky.
You know, well, just the ask you to leave. Don't want to interrupt gaming. Is there anything that you'd have me do?
No. Relax. I intend to have supper with my sister tonight and hear about how things went with the Glimmertongues. She did inform me that they have not agreed to a treaty, but small steps were made. She did tell me that although a treaty was not signed, that they still treated you well there, and that some progress was made. So perhaps the way to get into Kelton is not through the Glimmertongues, but through its guilds.
Free market economy, Cerulean. That's up to you. And I'll nod and just step.
Okay. So
Your Majesty, before I go, may I speak to the Queen at some time? Just questions that I have after reading this journal. The journal that I read was a follower of Orion, but I feel that the Queen may also have some light to shed in regards to her worship of the nameless hero.
he motions to the footman and says, could you take Silas to speak with Queen of Erin? And he
I thank you.
obliges. Are you going to Vhagar, or do you not go?
I'll want to read the room to see if the king wants to continue enjoying his peace and quiet and shoot his bow, right? I'm not about to eat up that space.
No, he seems more than willing to have you stay with him if you'd like.
I'll just look at Silas. Do you want to speak privately, Queen?
You can come with. It may shed some light on your armor and maybe that sword of yours as well.
Majesty, I must away with my dear. I'm always at your back. And I wave.
Okay. So the two of you find the queen with a half-elven man. And he is teaching her Elven. And she's having a hard time with it. It's clearly a language that she's not mastered. When you come in, she stops though. She maybe even blushes a bit, feeling silly, talking like an elf, and then looks at the two of you, and she says to the man that we'll continue our studies tomorrow. And she turns her attention to the two of you. You find her in sort of a chamber with a trio of windows with a small balcony looking out over the channel. And she doesn't even question it. She looks at Silas and she's like, Silas, Vhagar.
Your Majesty.
What brings you?
How are you this fine morning?
I am a bit tongue-tied, as Elvish does not suit my palate.
Oh, give it time. Anything worthwhile learning takes time.
Do you speak it, Silas?
No, and I have no intention of ever doing so.
She says, if the orcs are coming from the north and we are to find allies with the wood elves, I feel they would take to me better if I could speak their tongue.
Ever the wise one.
Although I cannot find
I cannot
find a teacher that can teach me wood elf and I understand the dialect is slightly different. I am learning High Elf. Maybe. Oh, anyways.
Have you ever thought of coming by the Great Library?
I have
There's
been.
much to learn there, especially.
I was actually at the Great Library last week.
And you didn't say hello?
Is that where you dwell?
I'll go like that. I'll make a smell sound. I'll go.
Books.
I apologize.
Oh, did Mo freeze for the rest of you, or just me?
Yep. Yeah.
A brother.
Oh, he's catching up. He's catching up now. He's catching up now. Okay, hit us again, Mo, with your wisdom.
Sorry, my bad, guys. I found a journal of a brother Althrin, Bishop of Lord of the Dawnfather. There. Does he? Is the nameless hero somewhat connected to them, by any chance? In any form or fashion?
To the Dawnfather?
Of any sort.
Orion's priests are allies of the Keepers of Stone.
Were they ever involved in any sort of battle in a city? A nameless city, for instance.
She smiles. You are quoting very old doctrine. Yes.
Old doctrine is what I bring you.
The final battle between our hero and the Black Goat took place in a city with no name. It's said it lies to the east of Tylus. Pardon me, the west, to the west of Tylus.
The west of Tylus.
Can we look at it?
Is it on there?
I can bring up the. Let me scroll down here.
The big map?
Yep. Are you on the big map with me here on Roll20? Let me make sure I've got you on it. Yep.
Yeah, I just.
So Tylus is way down here. There's nothing really to the west of Tylus.
Oh. Except something a little small right there to the west. Aye. Quite a distance away. How much do you know of the fight itself?
I know that a number of companies, an army of men and allies, dwarves, elves, met on the outskirts of the city and, led by the hero, entered and fought the manifestation, some say the body of the Black Goat. And that few survived. But the goat was slain, sent back, some say, to the abyss, and our hero gave their life and was brought back to Tylus, where they were interred. What does your learnings tell you? Go ahead, Tim.
And I was just brought in like the bro jock in the back. Didn't you say the nameless hero has returned?
The nameless hero has begun to speak to me before leaving Tylus. I must admit, I have not heard their voice since I've arrived here.
Just want to look at Silas.
You haven't. Two things. First thing, you haven't heard the voice in about 5 months. I would make the assumption of?
Yeah, because she would have been married somewhere maybe closer to 6 months, but yeah, about 5 months.
5, 6 months, okay. Then the second thing, I learned of somewhat of a fight that occurred with a Lord Egram Tegram. Does the name ring a bell? Egod Tegram?
No. He was there at the battle?
Oh, yes, the man from Northgate. Isn't that what?
Our stories tell of a Lady Margand.
This used to be known as Kingsgate?
Yes, it was Northgate. It would have been Northgate at that time. She says that their stories tell of a Lady Margand who led companies from Tylus, and that it was Lady Margand who returned with the body of the nameless hero. The Margands are a noble house still in Tylus to this day, and the dwarven allies were led by a Thane, and she pauses to try to think of the name. Hammerblade, I believe. Thane Hammerblade. And the elves were mostly skirmishers and did not have a named leader, at least not in the history books. I'm sure there was one. There must have been one there, but you know how these things are. Plus, some of it's, I'm sure, been exaggerated or myth.
More than likely truth and mixed in with a little bit of
If Lord
prophecy,
Tegram was in the battle and returned here to Northgate, I'm sure he would be honored in the hall.
Agreed. Vagon, if you have a moment or two here in a bit, maybe we can go visit the Great Hall.
My history is not... I'm still learning of the city's history, but my understanding is anyone honored in the hall lays buried beneath the bastion.
I don't think this body lays buried in the bastion.
Is he not honored in the hall?
From what I read, Your Majesty, he jumped overboard, just as the ship, known as the North Kiss, docked. I think he lays at the bottom of the sea. Left in the deep. Says that line again, Tegan.
When the Quill were teaching me about the city and giving me a tour of the bastion, I'm sure they told me that anyone whose painting or placard resides in the Hall of Honor is buried in the vault beneath the bastion.
Just step forward again. There's a way to find out.
You see, like Silas kind of starts staring off at Vagard, staring at the armor and sword. With the marking, with the curse? No. Vagard, when you can. Please. Can you... I cannot get through... I don't know, what do you call yourself? Security forces?
Yes. I'm just looking.
Okay.
I'm just like not.
The queen,
not bothered by
the queen looks at the two of you, and you can see a glint of excitement in her eye, and she's like, "Well, I can get through the security forces. What do we need to do?"
Go.
Yo, man, I don't think the king is going to let me live if you come into a...
Silas, like, nose to cheek and be like, you don't want to go look at a crypt and discover clues, Silas? And I'm just like...
Oh, yes, don't get me wrong, and I'll get like this close to you.
The queen says...
Don't get me wrong, Vagard.
The queen says, well, first, we need to see if the painting or placard is in the hole. And she, like, gets up and like starts marching in that direction.
I'm loving the being so excited and nerding out. I'm just like looking at the footman, like, okay, and just like, but I'm
not even sure the footman's there. Like, he probably would have stayed in the hall.
Okay.
So the queen walks out, and he's like, "Your Majesty," and like looking for someone that's supposed to be escorting her, but she's like headed for a stairwell to head for the Hall of Honor.
I'll literally be right behind them. Like Vagard and I probably at the same time will look at the guard and go, "We're with her, if you don't mind."
So it's not long before the three of you are in the Hall of Honor, and as you look up and down the aisle, you come to a painting of a noble-looking knight. Vagard recognizes the painting. You literally the armor and sword in the painting. The armor is just like what Vagard's wearing, and the sword has that weird key head on the bottom of the hilt. And yeah, it's him.
I'll be like,
and it said his name is on a plaque underneath. And the queen goes, "There you go." So,
where would the body be kept, though? Not in front of us.
In the vault.
Yeah, the vault. I'll look at him. The vault.
The vault's been sealed.
All right.
The vault's been sealed, though. I don't think it's been opened since the time of Takar's grandfather.
Is it locked?
As far as I know.
Well, then I guess we need a locksmith of some sort, then.
It's a circle. Good job, Castle Keeper. What a great way to freeze.
Okay. Well, with that discovery, we're gonna jump ahead into the night to the south gate. And Gallo is, where is Gallo set up?
I think that he is, he is. So in my mind's eye, like this road going, this road that's going up to the gate, right? I picture it kind of like have you ever traveled across the border, like by road?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And there's always like lines of semi-trucks on either
exactly.
side.
Yeah.
And there's like cars and stuff like that, right? And whatnot, you know what I mean? So I think that he's just kind of like slowly walking along, looking for the wagon that he's supposed to look for.
Okay.
So
you're out the gate. You're like in Jingletown.
Yeah,
sort of.
yeah.
Okay. So the line going into the city has really reduced. It's really reduced.
Yeah.
So there's just a few stragglers, and you're walking back, and there's a few drunkards maybe wandering the streets of Jingletown. They're into their cups. They pay you no mind. You're beneath sort of the shadow of the gate and the walls, and there's a tavern nearby where you can hear faint music coming from. Maybe every so often, a dog starts barking at something in the night, or somebody steps on a cat and there's like a screech or something. Nothing out of the usual. And you wait and wait. And you would bet it's almost midnight when you see a wagon starting to roll through the road of Jingletown towards the gate. It's being pulled by 2 oxen. There is a what's the word I'm looking for? A teamster sitting on the reins, and the wagon looks very loaded. Very loaded. It moves slowly, and the oxen strain pulling the weight.
Okay. All right.
So, do you just wait for it?
I check.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I make my way to it, and I kind of do the whole, if it's straining under that weight, it's not moving very fast.
No, it's not.
And so I'm thinking that I can kind of like walk behind it a little bit and just kind of,
Yeah, absolutely.
you know, when I'm fairly certain no one's looking, scurry up underneath it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I do mean scurry.
There is sort of a light spring rain starting, and as the wagon pulls towards the south gate, you know, a few of the torches that are lit outside, they sort of tremble under that bit of damp wet, and the supply wagon, you know, creaks as it goes past you, the wood sort of protesting as the oxen snort and pull against it. You can see grain sacks sit piled high on its back. They're ordinary and dull, and there are what appears to be casks of salt beneath them in the back as well. And by the rear axle, in chalk, you can see 12 lines with one breaking them. And in this would be Thieves' Cant, and this is definitely the marked wagon that you're watching for.
Damn it, I want to go look at the box, okay? Like, I want to know what's in the box, all right? What's in the box? Okay.
It's maybe 100. It's maybe 100 yards from the gate, so it's still sort of out of eye shot. In the night, they can probably make out the shadow of the wagon coming towards it, but yeah. And you can't see. You can see like the shadows of guards moving on the walls and that. The gates are open, and the few people that are straggling in and out, the guards are paying little attention to.
Okay. All right. The problem that I have is the whole thing of like, they should not know that you're there thing, and my instinctive nature is like, just create a distraction, and then they'll wave the wagon through because they've got to deal with this asshole outside the gate, you know, kind of thing. And it's like, but we can't do that.
I think you could do whatever you want.
You know what? I am a forever DM. I do not trust those words as I have used them multiple times. So no, I can't do whatever I want in this moment. You know, that falls into the whole, you can certainly try.
Make it to the vault. Find your way to the vault. We're waiting to meet you.
I'm aware of that. But I've got I've got a smuggled in fucking Princess Buttercup right now. And so like I'm just like, oh, fuck, okay. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Nope, we're not going to do that. We're just going to hope that this just goes through without a hitch.
Okay.
Right? Kind of thing.
Okay.
And we're just going to ease it on through.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
We're just gonna hope that the gates are open and inviting, and we're just gonna slowly ease it through. If there looks like there is another caravan that I can kind of, I don't want to say spur on, but help guide this particular wagon to join in some way, shape, or form. Because animals are interesting creatures in that, you know, like when they start to see a lot of them moving in a line, they'll join the herd, so to speak, right?
Okay.
So I'm trying to work that kind of an angle, because that, I think that falls in the whole, like, don't be seen, but make it happen kind of thing.
Sure. As you get a little closer to the gate, the spring rain now has made the stones outside the gate a little slick. And again, the torches cast these long trembling shadows as their fire sputters and whatnot. There is a mule pulling what looks to be not a four-wheeled wagon like what you have approaching, but like a two-wheeled cart with a bunch of either hay or straw for bedding inside the city, you assume. And the guards give it a look over, and you see that there's an exchange of some money. And then it starts, just as you sort of get close to the gate, it starts to roll in. The guards step close to the wagon with a torch up. Are you walking sort of behind it?
If they start to get a little close to it, I think that he just kind of like comes out and just goes, "Oh, excuse me. His cloak's still pulled up. I seem to have forgotten about the bonus situation and those 12 gold that he had pocketed earlier."
Okay.
He throws the bag towards whichever one looks to be like the head guard who's in charge of him.
Okay. So the bag sort of hits the guard and he quickly snatches it with his one free hand. He has a torch in the other, a mace at his side. The other guard is on the other side of the wagon and he looks across. His jaw sort of tightens and he straightens up and glances to his partner and gives the smallest shake of his head. And the partner exhales, clearly relieved, but sort of tries to disguise it as boredom. Like starts like, and then turns it into a yawn. One of them mutters, "All looks in order here," and then begins to wave the oxen through. As the oxen tug and the cart is just about to enter under the arch, you hear, "Hold!" And the word cuts like clean through the night as the day captain strides forward. He looks exhausted. He strides out from beneath the gatehouse arch, rain beating in his long black mustache. His mustache is oiled into two dark tips that frame his mouth. His eyes sweep over the wagon and the teamster looks at the captain. Any delay on this one? The guard's like, "No delay, sir. Routine cargo." And the captain motions for it to move through. And as it's passing him, he notices the chalk mark and touches the side of the wagon and says, "Hold on. What's this?" The guard, you hear him say, "Oh, looks like some damage, Captain." The captain like rubs at it and the chalk starts to like wipe off in wet smudges.
"Hey, excuse me. Hey, that's my markings."
"What sort of marks are these, sir?"
Each of these wagons only has a certain amount of usefulness, and after they make 13 runs, they have to be retired and broken down and taken in for maintenance. And not all of my, people are quite capable of keeping track of said things, as they don't always have the same driver. So we just mark the wagons every time that they make a trip. This one obviously is due to see, well, the oxen will go to the farrier and the wagon itself will go to the blacksmith to make sure that it gets, some proper change out of the wheels. It's bearing quite a load in there.
He, clearly tired, he rubs his eye and sort of his brow. Why don't you go ahead and give me a charisma check? He's like, I hate to do this to you, sir, but I need to count these sacks. And the barrels.
Well, I don't think, like, listen, you look pretty tired. Are you tired? You look tired.
You have no idea the type of day I've had.
Yeah, I figured. Let me guess. Your relief captain didn't come in yet?
Oh, don't you know it?
I can tell. I mean, you know, it's things like this. You know, it's really honestly one of those things that really kind of, you know, it gets in my gourd. It chops my ass, to say the least. When, you know, folks aren't showing up at their proper assigned times, doing their proper assigned things and whatnot, and here you are burning away the midnight oil, doing the right thing that you're supposed to be doing. But realistically, I mean, it's just another wagon going through. It checks out. Your boys checked it out. You know, I'll tell you what.
It's grain. It's grain in the sacks. Salt in the kegs.
Grain, salt, and a little refreshment for some of the guards. We plan on dropping it off at the guardhouse along the way, courtesy of the City Watch captain. And he pulls out his flask of whiskey. And he goes, if you'd like a wee sample.
I'll likely be asleep if I take that. He looks to... He looks to the two guards. He's like, all right, don't untie it. Just give it a rough count. And you see the two guards sort of... They look at you.
And he kind of does he does this whole thing where it's like one short of the number that's actually there, kind of thing, where he's like...
So the guards start counting, their hands going all over the grain sacks on top, and they're like, okay, so we've got like 3 stacks here, and they start doing the math, and they're like, can we call it 24 sacks, sir? And we'll say half that in barrels, and give me one last charisma check as the captain is like watching everything go on there.
Alright, here we go. Charisma's not my strong suit, but I'm glad it's not intelligence. No, that's definitely not gonna work
shit.
out well. No.
And not only that, it was a 1. It was a 1.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
So I'm not seeing.
So at that, the captain goes and grabs a spear. And you think he's going to start...
Not my bags and my barrels!
Relax, it'll all stay in the wagon, he says.
But not if you put a hole in it! That comes out of my pay!
At that point, one of the guardsmen say, Captain, is that Rollathorn coming down the road right now? And he goes, Rollathorn? This late for his shift? And he starts walking back up to the front, and the guard turns to you and goes, I'm going to need more gold.
I think he pulls out... I literally have 2 remaining gold on my person. He pulls out the last 2 and flicks them to him, and he's just like, that bonus situation really needs to be addressed.
He's like, it's going to take more than this. Where can I meet you?
At the Wilted Willow.
Oh, the Wilted Lily?
Lily, yeah.
Yeah. He's like 10 gold.
10? I just gave you 12.
I know. And if you don't want my captain running a spear through your load here, 10 more gold.
And if I had a nickel for if I had a copper for every time I'd heard that phrase, but like, we're not there. Anyway. So, all right. You want 10 gold? Fine, we'll get you the 10 gold.
I'll be at the Lily tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow, for sure.
For my 10 gold.
Yes.
Or this whole deal with the South Gate, it's gonna be off. Do you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yup, sure do.
At which point, he's like, all right, move it along. And
you're a good lad. I'm glad you're on our side. Who the fuck is this guy?
The wagon starts to roll through, and as you move away from the gate, you can hear the captain like yelling down an alleyway, I see you back there, Rollathorn! And you're 8 hours late!
Somebody better call the duty officer, because this guy's pissed.
So once you're inside the gate, the oxen drags on. The teamster looks at you and says, he hasn't spoken yet, and he's like, good work. I appreciate it.
Speaks. I thought you were an illusion. That's good to know. Okay.
An illusion?
Yeah. You could have piped up at any time, but no, here we are.
Well, what am I supposed to say? I'm just paid to drive the cart.
Exactly. Just remember that. You're just paid to drive the cart. You didn't see anything. And he, like, backs off into a shadow.
Okay.
Like, straight up.
You disappear into the shadow.
You didn't see it.
And the oxen cart, the oxen and wagon disappear into the streets of Kingsgate. For our two back in the castle, the Queen takes you to a vault door that leads into what she describes. She's like, I'm pretty sure this is the Vault of Silent Kings or something like that. And there is an ancient... You are in the bottom of the bastion. Like, the dungeons are down here, where they keep, like, prisoners and stuff. And you are in a... Like, clearly no one comes here. The tunnels are, you know, all the corners and ceiling are covered in cobwebs and dust, and no one has been down here for some time. Very clear. And there is a massive stone vault door.
How do I not send patrols down here? I just write that down like just.
Aren't you the captain god yet, Vagard? I always get so confused.
Remember, that's Lord.
So if the history is right, and the Queen is fascinated down here. She's like, if the history is right, these foundations date back to Northgate, like prior to the sacking of the city by the orcs.
I think I read something about that.
Just
What was it called? The Long Twilight? Right before the kingdom was founded?
Maybe. I think you're right, Silas. You're good.
I like to read.
She's like, so how do we get through this door?
Well, let me see if there are any traps, any sort of... I don't know. Have we tried just knocking on the door?
Who's going to answer
Wait
it,
a minute.
Silas?
Is there a key?
Oh, everyone behind it is dead. You're right. It can't be that simple.
Will that work?
Your Majesty. And I'm just like, I'm not that. You know what I mean? I look at Silas and I'll put the sword back in, but I.
You might as well.
I'm going to say that. Yeah. I'm going to say
you
that.
Might as well.
Silas is much smarter. He can definitely tell that the key mechanism that's on the end of your hilt is way too big for the key hole on the vault door.
Slides it back in.
Go try it.
The queen comes over and like she like crouches, even in her dress, crouches and like looks. It's dark. There's no light coming through the keyhole. She looks back at you with an absolute smile, her red hair sort of flowing over her shoulders, and she's like, this is like being a kid again. How do you think we open it?
Yeah, probably by picking a lock. Can you pick a lock?
I'm afraid I can't pick a lock. No, the two of you, no?
I don't know of... There's a possibility of something within Jingletown area, but I don't know much of any other places where we could possibly find anything. I can't, my magic will not allow me access to this. I'm sorry.
This isn't sacrilege, is it?
Borderline.
Your
But
Majesty,
the
this
gods
is
are
your
busy.
task.
I mean, there are burial chambers
Nope.
beyond here, right? Ancient burial chambers.
What if you're saying is I'm wearing a dead man's armor? Look at Silas. Then clearly we need to investigate.
I want to know if he's down there.
Well, you said the nameless hero was speaking to you, Your Majesty. Why don't you ask him to give you the thumbs up? Do they?
She looks at you with a very sarcastic look.
I apologize, I forgot. Yes, religious and whatnot.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask the kind of a leading question. Who could pick such a
She looks at you with like a sly grin. She's like, a thief. You need a thief.
Where does one go to get the thief in town?
I don't know.
I'm familiar with Kingsgate, but I'm not.
I've
I'm not
heard
familiar with that
I've
part
heard
of
there's thieves.
Kingsgate.
I've heard there's a number of thieves guilds in the city, but I wouldn't know how to reach them. Not to mention, they're not going to trust Mr. Fleur-de-Lis here.
Well then, who better to send than the user of the arcane practices, after all?
going alone, but I would take the armor just for you.
Maybe keep the armor on. Just take your Fleur-de-Lis off.
I'll look at her like, wear a cloak for my majesty. And I'll just like...
She's like, don't be silly.
Yeah,
If we need a master thief, you need to look presentable for the underworld. Maybe drop the armor, too. We could get you some leathers.
Just look at Simon. Be like, you're enjoying this,
I don't-
aren't you?
Oh, I'm loving it.
Yeah.
The less holy thou art thou, the better I feel. Let's not even pretend it.
There's no way Silas is walking down there, so just like, after you.
Where would we go, though? Do we just walk around that town asking, what, a master thief?
Think I could probably
I don't know.
speak with one of like not Lord Norin, but one of his, you know what I mean, and just be like, hey, you know, give me 3 thieves guilds and where their locations. You know what I mean, like one of those type questions. And
Yes, that wouldn't be a bad idea, right? Let's go speak to...
is there anybody in?
Wouldn't Jacques know anything? Would Jacques know anything?
No, you don't think Jacques would know.
I look at him and just be like, that's a slippery slope. Like,
You,
let's not have Jacques for a thieves
No.
guild.
I think you could do. I think the Lord Norn idea is not a bad idea. I will also put forward that the Illuminated Quill might, they know stuff.
There you go. Hey, and if that's the case, I'll say that if Silas brings that up, like your quill, and I'll list to him like the reason why. I don't want to ask Lord Norin. I want to see who is the most honest about picking a lock and just shaking my head. Like this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like, who could do this and yet not take advantage of it?
And the Queen's like, and we probably shouldn't be telling many people. Like, I'm not one to keep secrets from my husband, but
Pleasure to walk into there.
I don't think the king should know that you're going to be infiltrating his grandfather's tomb.
I'll be like, I have to pretend like I didn't just hear her trigger that in my brain, and I'm just gonna look at Silas like real slowly, waiting for him to dissonance my cognitive, like that.
Go. Let's go to the quill. What are we still doing here?
After you.
I mean,
Just to
Your Majesty.
just to speed this up a bit, I'm going to say that
Yeah.
you do go to the quill. The quill sort of, it maybe takes asking a few people, like Astus tells you to go and talk to someone who tells you to talk to someone, and you eventually find that yes, in fact, the quill occasionally, to sort of confirm certain suspicions they have, or if they need certain components for things, they turn to a group known as the 13 Locks.
Okay. The
They sound big.
13 locks.
And you are directed to speak with sort of the quill calls him a quartermaster, but basically a man who does the arrangements for jobs for the locks, by the name of Malin Vey, and that you can find him at the Wilted Lily in Old Town.
I'll just look at the Lily. I'll just look at Silas after. I guess there'd be like lots of explanations and stuff, and the only thing I key off on is like Lily. That's
Yes, you would be focused on that.
So
Also, I guess we're going to a bar.
let's say the next evening, just maybe after the dinner hour, the two of you are making your way to the Wilted Lily. But someone is already at the Wilted Lily. Our dear escort. Yeah, exactly. Gallo, you find your mentor there. Malin is very pleased by everything he's heard from the night before. You've sort of given him a debrief. Do you want to give us sort of a rundown of how you described to him how things went?
So I moved in like the night and made it so that the guards come to see my point of view on this, all while keeping myself hidden from their eyes, as forcing them to avert their gaze. And I ran into a small kerfluffle with the gate captain. However, he was easily dissuaded by my charms, only to find that one of the guards decided to get a little greedy and demand even more gold from me, thinking I was somebody else, but I wasn't. So he's going to meet somebody here this evening, demanding 10 gold from somebody he doesn't know, from an organization that I have no idea who they are. And it's going to be wonderful, and it's going to be quite entertaining nonetheless.
You're not going to pay the man his 10 gold?
No. I already gave him 12.
He smiles at you. He says, You've done very well, Gallo. Well enough that I give you this. And he slides a coin to you with an ornate-looking lock on it, and this is a token amongst guild members to show that you have completed your first lock, the Shadow Lock. The Lock of Stealth and Patience. He also slides across to you a leather pouch and a very nice-looking dagger.
How nice.
You want to take it out and check?
I mean, he doesn't, like, brandish it, but he just kind of, lowers it down by the table and kind of does a little,
Yeah, it
quick little.
it feels very good in your hand, and it's certainly a good balance, a keen edge. Inside the pouch that he gave you are a pair of gloves. Now, these gloves don't have fingers on them. They'll allow you to have your manual dexterity, and they are a dark brown leather. He's like, these were given to me when I completed my first lock, and I now give them to you.
Do they fit, given that he's a human and I'm a dwarf and I have essentially catcher's mitts for hands?
Yeah, do you want to try them?
Well, I can look at them to see whether or not that actually
you don't
fit
think
my...
you think they're going to be very snug.
Okay, yeah, just like, thanks. Feeling like that guy who was on trial in the 90s.
Do you try to slide one? As your hand goes in, you feel the threads and that start to pull on them, and then the glove seems to almost reshape itself.
Oh damn! There goes the joke. Glove does not fit. You must acquit.
And it gets quite comfortable.
Oh well, these are quite nice. Oh. Although I'm told the ladies like the calluses on the hands, but this is kind of nice.
He smiles at you. The barmaid passing you winks, and then two men enter the wilted lily that seem a little out of place.
Oh. You think they have sweets here? You think they got serious question? Sweets in a pub, possible or not?
I'll look around at the place and just be like, don't be disappointed if they don't.
The illuminated quill. When the illuminated quill told you to meet Malin here, the sage that gave you that information said to ask Malin how his wife Layla is doing.
Layla.
Got me on my knees, Layla.
I'm glad you got the reference.
Well,
Okay.
Well, Vega, you know what must be said. I'm gonna go order the closest thing to sugar here.
Does he have a problem?
The shirt?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, does he have a problem?
Yeah. So, yeah, Silas is obsessed with sweets and baked goods.
So from your description and everything, Vegard, you see the man who you think is Malin, and he's sitting with a dwarf at a table. They look like they've just conducted some business, maybe.
Yeah, I'll very obviously not be ordering a beer.
Okay.
Right? Like at this, and just I'm doing my best. I mean, I'm wearing street clothes, but I look like the dude wearing combat boots and jeans. You know what I mean? Like it's very obvious. I'm just kind of sit down.
Yeah, as you're sort of looking about a little awkwardly, our thick barmaiden passes you, and she's like, "Find a place to get comfortable, honey. I'll be right with you." And you can hear Silas at the bar, and the bartender's like, "We ain't got no sugar."
You have mead, then? Mead?
Yeah, I've got mead. Nothing good like
honey mead?
Nothing good from the lowlands, but I've got some.
I'll take out one electrum piece, because that's what I have on me.
He looks at the electrum, he's like, "Electrum? Well, that's awfully fancy."
So, it's what I had. I couldn't break the gold.
Hey, Raid. Welcome, Jay and company. Okay, so he takes the electrum, he looks at it, maybe he even bites it a little bit, and then he's like, "It'll do." He's like, "You just want one drink? You running a tab?"
I'll take 2.
He goes over to a keg that obviously is not used very often in the Wilted Lily, and pours you 2 meads, and brings them over and slides them across, and then goes about getting someone else's order. You find Vagard sitting sort of uncomfortably. Did Vagard sit, or did he just stay standing?
There's a reverb. You guys hear that?
Nope.
Hang on, one sec.
Okay. Have you got your stream volume on?
I do.
Okay.
Just behind where the toggle is.
Oh, Phantom's here too.
Yes,
Look at that.
I think I walked directly to him because I want to get out of here as quick as possible. As soon as I see the gentleman that looks like Malin,
Okay.
I'll,
So Gallo, Tim, why don't you describe what you look like as you saddle up to the table with the dwarf and the man that you think is Malin?
brand new like leather armor that barely fits it with an unmatching cloak that's very obviously like he's trying to be very cloaky. I've got just like down to my lips on you know like Zasita taken. Whoa, 2 raids in a row.
I know, Guild Superior coming in now, right behind Jay. Welcome everybody.
I think when he sits down, Gallo just looks at him and just does. Are you a cop? You have to tell me if you're a cop.
He's a cop.
like straight up, like you look like a paladin trying to be undercover, and it's not working very well.
Malin's like, don't be absurd. There's no paladins left.
You'd be surprised, and I'll touch his hand, like with lay on hands, and like so you can feel the warmth, and I'll for Malin, and I'll be like.
So you touch Malin's hand. He seems awkward with you physically touching him like that. Just a gentle finger tap, but he certainly feels the warmth of your lay on hand, and he sort of recoils and rubs his knuckles. As he's doing that, I feel like that's when Silas arrives with 2 meads in his hands.
I've found.
So what I'm saying, Vagard, is you shouldn't make yourself suspicious. So blend into your surroundings. I got you a mead. Hello there.
I'll just.
Malin looks at Silas and goes like, "Nice eye patch."
Nice mustache. Are we giving compliments out?
Yeah.
Is it so you can always have your night vision? And is that what it is? Is that the point of the eye patch there?
Who said that? Oh, hello there.
The dwarf was in your blind spot. I love that.
Sorry. couldn't see you there. You gotta stand center of vision.
Joke?
Center of vision. No, I mean I have an eye patch on. Peripherals, have you ever heard the word?
No.
Oh, neither have I.
What?
I read it in a book.
What can we help you gentlemen with?
Vagard, I think you had something to tell the band, I believe.
For starters, Layla? He says it like the most, you know what I mean? And I'll just look at Silas like, I'm not even gonna roll.
He leans in.
I'm just gonna look at Silas. Like, do you want me to kick this off?
He leans in towards you and he's like,
All of you.
"Did you say Layla?"
I'm looking at Silas. Did I?
Don't look at me. I don't speak for you.
Yes, I said Layla.
He apparently had
had
a good night. He apparently had a good night with Layla. Something along that lines.
My first wife.
Awkward.
Yes, the Quill who sent us down asked us to check on Layla. Perhaps they haven't met you in a long time.
No,
Sorry about your
no,
first
it's
name.
fine. You're from the Quill, then. What does the Quill need now?
Obviously dipping.
Our Majesty. And is this room, like, is it remotely secure? I'm just, you know what I mean?
No,
Like,
it is
looking
not
around.
remotely secure.
Yeah. We've been sent here by Her Majesty for a service.
I'm sorry. Her
Don't be-
Majesty? The Queen?
Vagard, the less you give, the better.
Oh,
Stop
my dear
talking.
friend, I believe he's given plenty already. Okay, let's continue your story. The Queen has sent you into Old Town
You don't.
to seek out old Master Malin and his dwarven associate, and he points to Gal. For what
That's
purpose?
correct. And perhaps the gods, as he changes his tone.
Oh, of course, the gods. Okay, the gods, the Queen, and your. This is wonderful.
We need someone to pick a lock.
There
put
it
it blunt.
is. There we go. See? There it is. You see how easy that
Vagard.
is? Do you see how easy
Vagard.
that is?
We're
What it
learning
is,
something, aren't we?
Is the noble High Lord himself here, great disguise by the way, is in need of illicit activities, and I don't mean of the fornicating kind, and he's too proud to ask for what he needs.
And you would be
illicit.
Vagard, the King's sister's guardian.
Correct.
Well, at this point, yes. And my name is Silas Wren.
We've been through this. I look at Silas like, we're like Brooklyn Nine-Nine now. Like, we've been through this. Why are you having me? I'm just going to do bad things. And I'm like, look, we have. It's
So,
not stealing.
I look.
what is it that you need unlocked? A chest, a strong box, a makeup kit?
A skull? What do you need?
We would like one of your experts to come with us to take a look at it.
A door.
You want us to just look at a door?
A door.
We'll see
Take a
what
look.
happens when we get there.
What? I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued now, and we wouldn't want to hastily rush into things here. What sort of door?
If we knew, we'd be in it.
That's not an answer at
Do I
all.
look like a locksmith, mate. Oops, I know I'm
No,
British.
no,
I look-
but you could be like, it's a big iron door, it's a big oak door, it's probably trapped with magic. It's got giant flame jets above it that can roast us if we don't do it correctly. Like, there's a lot to a door.
You sound
What
like
was your name again? I didn't catch your name again. I like you. I really enjoy you.
I didn't throw it.
Oh,
So
okay.
about that, what kind of door?
Fine. It seems you appreciate. Both of you seem to appreciate, notoriety and challenges that are presented to you. How about the Vault of Silent Kings? Does that name ring a
Now
bell?
We're talking. My name is Gallows, and I'm your man or dwarf.
Gallows, you and I are going to be best friends by the end of this.
I hope that I never see you again after this job.
Malin says, the vault lies beneath the bastion. Oh, of course, you can.
Yes.
saw
Not an issue for us to get to.
Next time I'm wearing my.
What say you, Malin Vey? Are you up for
Oh, I'm not.
to
I'm
let
not.
go of one of your most...
I'm certainly not doing it. If Gallo.
I
Well,
want to flip open a cop book.
how?
Like you just see Gallo, like he's just like sitting there with his ale, and he sees you do that, and he just kind of goes.
That vault, that lock has not been opened for years. Why?
Why not? Yeah.
There's something we need to examine within the vault. Ideally, the body of a fallen hero.
Okay.
That's the mystery is the reward, and
No,
journey.
no, you're not going in there to perform some sort of like necromantic ritual or something, correct?
No magic? That would be absolutely insane.
Why is he
They got
winking?
stop winking.
Why
Yeah,
is
they got
he?
stop winking.
Why is he winking? No, Gallows is literally. Why is he winking?
He winks. He winks
Don't keep
occasionally. He
friends
has
very long.
an eye twitch. It's an eye twitch.
That's not an eye
He's
twitch.
fine.
He's not. That's not an
They
eye
got.
twitch.
Look, I got.
Your
They got here. Take my tankard.
explanation is giving me an eye twitch. That was very pointed. What he just did.
No necromantic rituals. How
Why
about
do you
that?
need
I
to
promise
see
you that much.
Why do you need to see this hero's body? What for? What is the purpose?
To see if it brought a disease with it.
Oh, we're going to open the sealed chamber's tomb to inspect a body for a possible pathogen.
Incidentally, I just want to step in here for a second because Kurt isn't aware of the lore of the world. There was literally a plague upon the kingdom, not within the last sort of 10 years, called the fire fever that took a lot of lives.
I believe that it is. I live in the gutter. I'm familiar with how a plague works.
It's. Well, then, might as well dive in to see if it's making things worse, because something tells me things are about to get much worse.
20
So we
sides
need
to every story
inside
coming
the
in the
vault.
raid. Welcome,
guys.
Raiders. Welcome,
Hello,
Raiders.
everybody.
We're negotiating. Malin says, let me speak with Gallo in private.
That could be done.
I'll lean in as they try to speak.
And
Right, in private.
he stands up and motions for Gallo to follow him back into the kitchen.
Well, he goes with him.
So the two of them disappear into the kitchen, and they've only been gone for a short while when two members of the town guard come through the door. And they're sort of looking about, and they're clearly looking for someone as they move about, and everybody's sort of giving them the eye and then going back to their conversations. Meanwhile, in the kitchen, Malin says, once inside the kitchen, he sort of he motions to the chef and the chef starts like chopping just for the sake of chopping and creating more background noise. And he says to you, the vault's lock will not be easily opened. On top of that necropolis that lies behind the door has not been ventured into in at least a generation. These fools don't know what they're getting into. However, Vhagar may be a paladin. When he touched me, there was a warmth to his finger, and he touches his mustache.
You don't say.
I feel, though, that they have not planned this well enough.
I don't think that they have either.
But clearly there is some urgency in them getting within the vaults and finding whatever it is they're looking for.
I am questioning their motivations. I am also questioning their short-sightedness to open a sealed vault with a possible sickness inside.
I don't think there'd be any sickness there. It would be dead and gone by now. The corpses in that tomb are long dried up and dead. I'll tell you what is in there, though. King Takar I was buried there, and no doubt his jewels are within that vault as well.
But
Now-
if he is quote unquote a paladin, he's not going to allow me to take anything.
I know, but if he's busy looking after his business in there, you could be busy looking after ours.
Oh, I like this.
Or perhaps that's the payment. We open the vault door, but we get to take a little keepsake with us.
You're using this we and us. I'm assuming this is a royal we, when you just mean me.
Well, understand that you are not the most experienced lock. You are but a single one lock. I could easily give this out to a 3 lock or a 4 lock.
I mean, that may be the case, but I'm also your favorite lock.
You are, and it's unfortunate that you know that. It's not that I think you can't do it,
I am just leery of having...
We've done a great deal of
Such a-
business with the Quill. We've never worked with the Kingsguard, though, before, and I love the irony of that.
Yes, and that's kind of the catch, though, isn't it? I'm not saying I'm not going to do it. I mean, I'm going to do it. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, because, I mean, if anything, ultimate bragging rights. But really, when the King's Guard needs one of us to do something, that's a little questionable, you know? I mean, they're not just out here on a Saturday night slumming it up, you know? They need a fall guy, is what it looks like to me.
I understand what you're saying, but I don't think that could possibly be it. I really think they can't open that door.
Right, and I'm going to laugh if I get down there and it's simply turning a lever. That's the part that's really going to just make it all the better.
Well, you'll need a good set of picks.
I have picks.
You'll need a good set of picks.
What's wrong with my picks? You've never complained about them before. They've always done the job.
Yes. You weren't breaking into the King's Necropolis.
You know, I have a really interesting thought process of why do they put such complex things to guard a dead body? I don't.
The King's jewels are down there, I'm sure of it.
I'm aware of that. I want his crown, not his jewels. It's fine. The paladin.
The
can
crown,
have
the
jewels.
crown is not there. The crown was passed down in succession. But jewels.
Oh, well, fair enough. Yes, I get it. The jewels, yes. We'll get them. I mean, I'll get something, but it's giving me
The first queen of Northgate Kingsgate is down there. I mean, this is historical stuff. I'm somewhat envious. You're going to have to take keen notes.
Notes.
Maybe even draw a map.
You remember when I signed on, right? I made my mark. I didn't sign a name.
Yes, but you could sketch out a map for us.
I will do my best.
No secondary entrances have ever been found in the necropolis, but maybe from the inside you'll be able to find a back door, so to speak.
I can't find a back door.
Then, technically, if the paladin won't let you take any of the jewels, we could come back later and plunder them.
I don't think that is advisable, but we'll get something out of there. I have a very strong feeling that this paladin that I'm going to be wandering around with is very stalwart, very noble, and is not going to appreciate any of my lewd jokes the entire time.
Well, I'll tell you this: if he is the bodyguard for the king's sister, he's clearly trusted, and he can't be any slouch.
Okay.
Not to mention, I don't know of many paladins that still remain. All right.
Yeah, there is that.
So we take the job then.
Oh, of course we're going to take the job.
on the understanding that you get to bring something back from the vault.
Yes.
Yes. Okay then. He then looks at the chef and he says, "These words are locked within you, correct?" And the chef's like, "Didn't hear anything. Just making a salad." He's not chopping a vegetable.
I think that like Gallo like pulls out his new dagger that he got, that brand new keen blade looking thing or whatnot, right?
Yeah.
Stabs a piece of brie and then just puts it in his mouth as he walks out of the kitchen.
Okay. Meanwhile, out on the floor, you guys are waiting for them to return from the kitchen. The town guard walk past your table, giving you a look over, not recognizing anyone, and move on. And they have a seat right up at the bar.
Silas, I could have worn my uniform.
Stop talking for just about 3 seconds, Vagard.
Feel like it.
I would take a magic missile for you, but at this point, you're going to get us in deeper shit than we are already in. Don't lead with the fact that we're here for the Queen. What are you doing? Don't ever do that again. Think about it. Where are we? Do you think the Queen's name would want to be sullied?
We're whisper yelling over everybody. 3 rooms I've gone into. I've talked to 3 different people. I've been wrong every time. Why do you make me talk first?
You're taller and intimidating. Have you seen me? The only thing I sustain myself on is sugar and the occasional drop of alcohol.
You want me to be mean? You're a bad cop?
You know what? Let's try bad cop next time. Yeah, that could help.
At that point, a very broad and curvy barkeep stands between the two of you, and she says, "More to drink, gentlemen? Something to eat, maybe?"
Yes. Yes. What do you have to eat here, ma'am?
I think we've got some mutton stew.
Love me some mutton stew. How about you, Vega? Do you like that mutton stew?
Sounds fantastic.
Great. We'll take 2 heaping bowls of it.
Delicious. I can't wait to partake in the mutton stew.
She smiles at you. She smiles at you, coming right up, and moves away from the table. She goes over and talks to the 2 city watch that came in, and you hear them say something about looking for a dwarf, and she's like, "Oh, I'm sure he'll be right with you." As the conversation in the kitchen sort of winds down, the barmaid comes through the door, and she takes up the door. She is a presence, and she says, "Gallo, the 2 guards at the bar are looking to speak with you."
Do they know my actual name?
No, I don't think so. But they said they're looking for a dwarf, and we don't get many dwarves in here.
Okay, but they just
Malin looks at you. He's like, "Can we not just pay them and send them on their way?"
Do you have 10 gold? I don't have 10 gold.
Do we?
No, they're in the kitchen. Well, we don't want to cause a scene.
True.
The woman. Who would like to name the server? Because this is an NPC that's just taking on a life of her own. Who would like to name her? What is her name?
Michelle.
Irene.
Ooh,
Or Michelle. Michelle
about-
Irene.
Yeah, I was thinking polar bear because she's thicker than Zugla.
No.
Wow, that was a good one. I like that one.
If someone in chat wants to name our thick thick bar maid, you're welcome to as well. For now, we'll go with Michelle, but this is maybe temporary. Michelle looks to you and says, "I could give you 10 gold in tips if you think you could work it off."
I'm a paladin, sir. In front of the paladin?
No, she's in the kitchen. She's in the kitchen. You're not there.
I'll tell you what. I'll work it off. After I do this job.
Well, she moves in very close to you. You can smell a very cheap and cutting perfume. Well,
You got the musk about you, woman.
what if you die on this job? How do I get my 10 gold back?
Well, then you know what? Then Mayland here will pay it. He's good for it.
She throws a leg up on the chef's preparation table, sort of blocking your way out, and she goes, "Human men are too easy to break, dwarf. I need better assurance than that."
That's about all I can give you. Your pH balance off just a touch. I'm just checking.
She says, she then reaches down to a purse on her exposed thigh, and takes the money out. Should I give it to them, or are you going to give it to them?
Oh, you can give it to him.
She smiles at you and walks out and down to the end of the bar, and she's speaking to them, puts the coin down. They smile and nod, and they quickly leave the place. Malin looks at you and says, "You're becoming more and more in debt as the night goes on."
I mean, probably.
Malin then walks out of the kitchen and back towards the paladin and Silas. He sits down as the two heaping bowls of mutton stew arrive, with big chunks of carrots and potatoes and just a very small amount of actual mutton in the stew. And Malin slides back into a seat and he says, "All right, my boy here will get your door open, but we need to be reimbursed with something valuable from within the tomb."
From within the tomb?
Well, if history serves, the first king and first lady are buried in that necropolis. They're bound to have some valuable things on them. So my associate, and he motions to Gallo, will liberate something for us.
I mean, what I don't see won't hurt me, but just know, probably having the current queen's wrath on you probably isn't a good idea neither.
Well, aren't you working for her?
You will be
so-
repaid. You will be repaid.
Wouldn't the queen owing a favor to the queen be very, very much worth anything that you could find within the vault?
I suppose.
Possibly.
I suppose, but I have certain investors, and we do work a bit of a pyramid scheme on this thing. So,
Thieves working a pyramid scheme. No, you don't say.
Listen,
I want to make sure that Gallo is taken care of.
Every one of you, both of you, will be taken care of.
You say
That
that
much
with
I can
such
assure
an
you.
ominous tone. What do you mean by that?
no.
As in, you will get exactly what's coming to you. Whatever.
Again,
to the queen.
again, phrasing. Phrasing is a thing here. All right? You're
I'm
using
just
our
saying
language
you will-
against us.
You will get your heart's desire.
That's much better. Much better. Yeah. Saying getting what's coming to you is not good in a den of thieves.
Mr. Gal.
Sorry, I read it. I read it in a book one time.
Mr. Gal, I'm not my father.
Destiny has brought us together. I feel that there's something of
Oh, Vagod. Wrong. Read the room, Vagod. Read the room.
No. Let him go. Let him go. I like this. I like a destiny. Yes, tell me. It has brought us. It has fated us together. Continue.
when you're following fate's path. Rewards from, and I'll look at them, the gods or fortune. Find everyone. It may not be in this crypt. It might be beyond the crypt. Your fortune is with us.
That sounds like I'll get paid eventually.
You will be taken care of, as he says. If there's nothing in there, I'll ensure you're well rewarded.
Standing. See? Look at that. It can be charming.
Well, I'm just charmed. Like, cure disease. I'm charmed.
Malin stands up and says, "Please pass on my regards to the Quill, and for referring you for a what is sure to be a fortuitous bounty for all." I'll leave you to
Consider your
work out,
message
I'll
received.
leave you to work out the details with Gallo. And he pats Gallo on the shoulder as he departs.
As soon as we go outside, I want to cast Detect Evil in the weirdest, most awkward way on Gallo. I'm just
On Gallo?
Just do everything. Yeah. It's just like, how does he read? It's just. It's like,
I'll let Gallo answer that.
How does he read? Confused. I don't like so. He's not completely evil.
Yeah.
But like, that's the whole thing. Like, he wouldn't read evil. He would probably read more neutral.
I'm more in the treasure or the screaming baby in the other room and the house is on fire is kind of where I go with this one. You know what I mean? Just that's
Oh no, he's far more of like he's just kind of like yeah, dude, treasure. Let's go. Yeah, treasure. Okay. We can get some treasure. I'm here for that.
Yeah.
Fortune and
I'll
glory.
look at as soon as I cast that awkwardly, I'll look at Silas and be like, "Come on, ready," and just you just start moving out.
Like I said, the closest of friends.
Gotta get out of this weird out. What is this stuff?
Leather. Excellent. So I think that's a good place as any to end with you, the three of you, prepping for the heist of the vault. And what?
The reverse heist.
The paladin heist.
It's like we make our own house.
Yeah, it's weird. You're breaking into your own house. It's kind of odd.
We definitely have Mom's permission. This is totally cool. And
Sure.
this is
Yeah,
more
Mom
sad.
said we can do it, guys.
Mom.
I'm just saying, if Mom said we could do it, it's all fair.
Dude, I'm so sorry.
My mom said it's cool. If your mom says it's cool,
That's awesome. Well, listen, we're back in 2 weeks to find out what's beyond those vault doors. We're going to do this campaign every other week right here on Stronghold D&D. Are we able to raid someone? Do you want to raid someone, Tim? Or
We are darlings up. I'm gonna try. You know I'm the worst at this, so
I'm sure you can do it. Hey, thank you. I think we had 3 raids come in. Very appreciative of that.
Oh my goodness, guys. Appreciate you all.
Yeah. Jay and who else did we have here?
20-sided.
20-sided. 20 sides to every story. Guild Superior. Yes. Dave.
Handsome Dave. Well, fellas, we got, let's see, for our channel, and we got to go around. Kurt, do you have anything going on this week?
I'm playing video games on my own channel tomorrow at like
Right.
2 in the afternoon.
What games?
I don't know what I'm going to play. I'm supposed to be playing Resident Evil, but I might play Mech Warrior. I don't know.
Oh, which Mech
Let
Warrior?
me do a quick shout out to
Clams.
Kurt
Oh.
so you can find him.
I don't know what I'm going to play yet. But I play so like I'll paint on Mondays and Tuesdays, and then on Thursdays I'll be here, and then on Fridays I play video games, and then sometimes if the schedule allows it, this Saturday it doesn't because Child has archery tournament. But when she doesn't have an archery tournament, I do I play video game. I'll do video games and junk like that on Saturdays.
Cool.
We have Red Wizards Rising. Yeah, this Sunday. Yep, we're back in Thay Sunday, so that'll be fun.
Very
Oh,
cool.
you got anything, buddy?
No, nothing really going on. Just going to be doing some printing this weekend for some 3D parts and having some fun.
Oh,
Gotta
3D parts?
Get back into my campaign as well. Yeah, I've been trying to start reprinting some stuff off my resin printer, so I don't know. I've
Do you
been thinking
post
about
those
streaming
on your
again.
Insta?
I used to stream. I have before, and I posted myself like painting them and whatnot. I am thinking about streaming again, but I haven't decided what I kind of want to dive back in. Used to be a big Doom fan, so who knows?
I'm a big fan of Doom.
Love it. Doom Eternal.
Curses.
They called him the Doom Slayer.
I love it. It's so good. Not like that voice. And he will be known as the one who steps through the shadow.
There we go. I figured it out.
You figured it out?
Oh, it's ready to go.
Okay.
Oh,
Rip
we should love you,
and
buddy.
tear.